Hello, Commander. Good job, Commander, on the previous assault on the enemy forces position at the light button, and you have incurred over 4.7 thousand damage, 4,700 over damage on the enemy forces, and they have retreated from that position, from the light button to the light button. Or if you are confused why is it the same name, because it's just like all the Alexandrivka and all the Bilohorivka in Ukraine, it just happened to be the same name. And good job, you have relieved the pressure that have been put on our defenders, our Mary and the Little Lamb that was defending the dislike button. I have ordered her to continue to defend that position, and I would like you all to follow up with that assault on the enemy position at this new light button. This time round, I have received information that they are now reinforced by a new armored brigade. So let's see if we can deal 5,000 damage on them, and I hope you can do it, Commander. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 94 or 28th of May. So very fast, May is ending, and we're going to reach 100 days very soon. What a disaster. So anyway, let's start off with the craziest news I have read, which is actually Belarus have announced, the president Lukashenko has said that, I actually didn't see this for myself. I'm just reading off this like third-hand information, but it went viral on Twitter anyway. That the Belarus will invade Ukraine should the Polish military enters Ukraine. So basically, if Poland launch a military operation, their own special military operation in Ukraine, then Belarus will launch their special military operation in Ukraine. No one will declare war, because Ukraine is just the kind of special place that everybody just want to do something special to them. And this is a threat because according to some sources, some information that the Polish forces has gathered, I think, at the border, and Belarus themselves has also deployed forces along their own border as well with Ukraine. And in fact, if you have been following me for the past few days, you would have heard me reporting that Belarus has formed a new command, a new operational command, the Southern Command, that will focus primarily on Ukraine. So this is looking not very good, because there might become a three-way battle. And I'm not even sure if Ukraine would like Poland to invade into Ukraine, because it's not so clear how Ukraine will react to it. Whatever Poland say, should Zelenskyy believe Poland that the Polish forces is there to help to liberate Ukraine from Russia, then Zelenskyy is indeed taking too much copium. This is not going to happen. Poland will not go to war with Russia. Poland's military on its own is hardly stronger than Ukraine. It's probably the same as Ukraine before the war started. And if Russia has smashed Ukraine so badly that we are seeing all the donated or given weapons immediately deployed at the front, be it the artillery, the armored carriers, or whatever armored vehicles. If we are already seeing them being destroyed and deployed at the front, that is a sign that Ukraine actually having a problem with heavy vehicles, heavy military vehicles. That means they do not have enough. That means once these foreign aids all start to dry up, then they're going to have serious problem, because without heavy equipment, you're not going to defend against the Russian onslaught. So then this is only theoretically at most 15% of the Russian active military, and Russia can definitely do more, and that's without Belarus involving in this. So I don't think Belarus will be able to win against a Polish military. I think Belarus military, from my own impression, is a bit more outdated. But with Russian support, Poland might get himself into a serious stupid problem about getting this war. Who knows? We might end up having Belarus getting bigger at the aftermath of this unnecessary war. So anyway, this is a good threat. If you have watched my lecture on the balance of power, if not, I will probably drop the link here maybe, and then again maybe watch it. The balance of power is extremely important. That will prevent disaster from happening. Belarus putting themselves on the line to deter against Polish military incursion into Ukraine is the kind of perfect balancing of power to prevent Poland from doing something stupid. Should Poland don't give a damn about Ukraine's future, that means they don't really want Ukraine to have a future, they don't want Ukraine to exist further, then Poland can definitely invade in, and then Belarus will invade in. So Belarus will probably take the northern Oblast. I don't think they will be able to take Luhansk because of the Polish is just next to it, but Poland might take Luhansk, take Lviv, and then who knows, Romania will start to get itchy, Hungary will start to get hungry, and Moldova will start to get Moldovanish. No, that's not a word. So this is a serious development. I just not sure how it will go. If it happens, then have fun with all the Polish name that will start to pronounce. And on another side, which is also not part of this tactical or strategic analysis of the war itself, according to Russian sources, anti-Zelenskyy Azov leaflets start to appear in Kiev. So according to the wordings on these leaflets that were pasted on the wall, of course this might be entirely a misinformation. So if I misinform you, then that's a good lesson for you, not to believe everything I say. Volodymyr Zelenskyy is a traitor to Azov, will become a traitor for you. So basically, I think this translation is a bit funny, but it's basically Zelenskyy is a traitor to the Azov battalion, and they insist that if they will betray Azov, they will betray you. Basically the Ukrainians themselves. So they were pasted in some streets of Kiev. Not sure if this is misinformation. There's always a high likelihood that this is misinformation, because they could just print that and then print it, put it on any stupid wall in Russia, and then just take a photo and just say it's in Kiev. But I thought this is a interesting development, because I have been warning that Zelenskyy can be assassinated or overthrown by the extremist elements within Ukraine because of his handling of the war and the inability for Zelenskyy to provide more support to the Azov battalion as well as the right sector, who are the prime target of the Russian forces within this special military operation. So this might be the beginning of the end for Zelenskyy, might be, but I thought this is a interesting thing to note, that there are dissenting voices that might have been starting now. For this Polish battalion, I'm going to wipe it out. I'm going to delete it, because I cannot find sufficient information to prove that this is true. There is some rumors, as I reported previously, that they were actually surrounded and captured or destroyed by the Russian forces, but not enough evidence. So there are mercenaries from Poland fighting for the Foreign Legion, but regular troops, I can't really see that happen. So I'm going to delete this. Yeah. And unless this information is going to reappear again, then I will probably report it again. I don't want to leave it there. So coming to cross-border shelling, the Ukrainians reported cross-border shelling at this snobbish Drubishevka, Znob Shrubshevka, whatever, and Seredina Buda. This Seredina Buda has been hit the second time, at least, and then of course Stary Verki. So these 3 locations has been shelled, and according to the Ukrainian operation information, the Russians are continuing to reinforce troops at Kursk and Berdyansk. So we might not know for sure if the Russians will actually utilize these forces. It might be related to the Belarus warning to Poland that should the Polish forces actually enter this war, then perhaps we might actually see the northern front flare up again from the Russian side. And this is not including the Belarus forces that might enter on the on the left bank or the western bank of this Dnipro River. So if the Russian forces were to enter, because all these shelling are warnings, you see, it's warning from the Russians, not to be funny, not to try something funny, and definitely, any sane military commander, including myself, if you think I am, I will probably start to mass forces in this region, and even if it's just as a warning to or to as a threat to pull Ukrainian forces away from the front, it will actually be useful if I have to use them and to invade all the way back to Kiev again. And Belarus would probably do better to fight on the western side of Dnipro River. This is Dnipro River, and the Russians will take the eastern side, and this might work. So it's not looking good. Not looking good. So there is another cross-border shelling all the way at Kharkiv area at Sereda. So since we're talking about cross-border shelling at Sereda, we might as well start from the Happy Front first. So at the Happy Front, so cross-border shelling reported at Sereda. This is Kiev artillery hitting the Russian village of Sereda, which is just north of Ternova. If I'm speaking too fast, yeah, there's a lot to cover. So there is also rumors from the from the Russian sources that Ukrainian units are retreating from Ternova. They are retreating from Ternova. They are also retreating from Peremoha, as well as Huriv Kozachok. Obviously, and putting your forces at this area is kind of stupid. It's so near to Russia. It's without doubt that they have to withdraw someday. Previously, actually I think yesterday, the day before, Udi has been shelled as well. So it's not exactly smart to be so near to the Russian border, since the Ukrainian forces do not dare to go into Russia itself. So this is kind of like a handicap, if you ask me. So that's why I say it's not really a winnable war. There is fighting reported at north, and then there's also fighting reported at Supivka. And the information the fighting at Lipsy, I haven't really seen anything yet, but we can assume that they are fighting over there as well. So these 3 locations are still fighting. Definitely they are fighting at Ternova. The Russian sources say that at Ternova, the Russians had never left and the Ukrainians have never captured it. So whatever. This entire fight here, I think, is a gone case already. So I'm going to delete it. I don't think it's happening. This offensive has probably failed. So that's that. This advance also, I don't think it's happening as well. So it's no longer happening. I don't think it's happening. I didn't see anything. So not so is this. Fighting at Peshotravivne. This is also probably outdated information. And Kotomilia also, there's no more reports on the fighting over there. So I'm just going to delete it to clean it up, so that it's more concise with the latest information. So that's all for the Happy Front, the retreating front. So not so happy. Moving all the way to Izyum Front. So if you have seen the quick update, probably would have known some of this information already. A Sukhoi 25 had been shot down over Bavinkov, and there's a MiG-29 was shot down over Kramatorsk. This information is actually from the previous summary, which I forgot to report, so I got to report now. So it was on the previous day. Russian forces has reportedly captured Pasika. So this is somewhat of a rumor of sort, because there is someone reporting there are reports. So I'm reporting the report on the report. So of course this is I'm fourth or fifth hand. So take this with a pinch of salt, but it does seems to be likely, because it is corroborated in a way because of other information that the Russian forces is now fighting towards Bogorodishnoye or Bohorodishne. So because to fight towards this direction, you might need Pasika to be captured. So I believe this kind of corroborates the capture of Pasika. And this, however, does not mean that the fighting is within Bohorodashne, inside the town. I don't think so. I think they are still fighting in the forested and this mountainous area here. This mountain chain, as I covered in the quick update, I believe it's very important for the Russian forces to capture this. And with the high point, the high locations on the hill or mountain top, they'll be able to oversee this entire region and direct fire directly without the needs of drones. And then they can also put mortar units on these hilltops to bombard any Ukrainian forces within this region. And this will make this region very undefendable for the defenders, because you are constantly being seen and monitored from these mountain areas. From this mountain to the center of the city or village or town is just 1.4 kilometers, and you can easily see 4 to 5 kilometers from there, I guess. And this is a really huge area that the hill or the mountain top can cover. So, and it's well within range of mortars. So I believe the fighting is probably around here. Let's see. Okay, so on Liman, we have corroboration of this liberation, or rather, it's not corroboration, but more like a announcement by the Russian Ministry of Defense that they have dog year liberated Liman, or Krasny Liman, or I would like to call it Crispy Lemon. So as the joint action by the People's Militia of Donetsk People's Republic and the Russian Armed Forces, Crispy Lemon has been completely liberated from the Ukrainian mouth. So Ukrainians can no longer eat crispy lemons, and it's getting really sour for the Ukrainians. Maybe it's too sour for them. That's why they need to retreat towards the river area. So the Ukrainians are now at the towns along the river to drink water because the lemon is too sour. And there is information that the Russian forces are now at the outskirts of Shufrov, Stary Caravan, as well as Brusivka. So the Russians have pushed forward through the forested area, and then they are now at the outskirts of this riverside town. There is also information that there is fighting heard or reported near Raihorodok. So this is a major push away from Liman. I think they are trying to hit the metal while it's hot. Do not allow the Ukrainians a chance to breathe. There is some funny information that Dibrova and Ozone, these two locations, that is being shelled. I'm not sure who is shelling who. According to my information, is that these are Russian controlled towns. So maybe the Ukrainians are shelling them, or it could be the Ukrainians are there and then they are being shelled by the Russians. No idea. But it makes no sense that the Ukrainians might be here, because the Russians have already taken this location previously, and it's not likely that they will leave these two towns unattended, to put it that way. So that's all for the Izyum Front. Moving on to Luhansk Front in the northern side at Severodonetsk. There is rumors that Ukrainians have withdrawn from Severodonetsk, and so these unconfirmed reports tend to be not true. usually. And then the Chechen leader Kadyrov very happily declared Severodonetsk is captured by the Russian forces. So he's the president of the Republic of Chechnya. Chechnya is one of the republics within the Federation of Russia. So don't believe this. I don't think this is true. Because the same person had declared Rubizny captured at least 4 weeks before Rubizny was actually captured. So I wouldn't take his word for it. He's too excited, and he is a very exciting person. He's always very happy and excited in his videos. So there's that. There is no information in terms of the front line. However, we do have a video that corroborates that the Russians is actually at the Mir hotel. So let me pull out the video. Which one is? Oh, let's see. So this is a video of them within the hotel fighting. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Then I give you some sound effect. Pew pew pew. And then after that, pew 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 pew. Boom boom. Then bam. Then after that, so there is a fighting outside. Now you can see it's a familiar sight by now, right? We have seen so much of this all over. The house was burning. Then this interesting logo. Probably people who live there might be able to recognize it. So I believe this location is the hotel, and of course, urban fighting being urban fighting, it's not going to be easy. So I believe just now what we saw was they were actually in this building. They were in this building, and they were actually shooting towards this direction. So perhaps. So anyway, this is the information from Severodonetsk. We shall monitor if this withdrawal is true, and it will depend on how fast the Russian forces is able to cover this entire city. Even from Maya to the bridge that was blown up, or to this bridge that was probably not blown up, is 6 kilometers to 7 kilometers. These 6 kilometers is quite a distance. So to say you capture the entire city is a bit ambitious. I don't think it's true. However, we shall monitor and see. Something this major, we will definitely see war reporters going in. So the war reporters will probably give us a better insight into what is actually the reality on the ground. So I want to also express my thanks and appreciation and respect to all these war reporters reporting from the front, be it they are paid by the military, the Russian military, or be it they are actually part of state media, or be it they are independent. I think all of them deserve our appreciation. It's really dangerous. Even you can be 10 kilometers behind the front, and you can still die from missile strikes, or artillery strikes. So don't underestimate the danger that they actually face. So moving south, there is this interesting information that came out from the Russian source that the DPR militias are fighting for Ustinovka, which is Utinivka. So I have previously reported that this location is actually captured, but somehow this Russian source kind of invalidated that by saying that they are now fighting for it. So I have decided to pull back the front line to account for this, and I just put it. So now in front of you, I show that this is now fighting. So very, very weird situation, because it was previously also by Russian sources said that it was captured. So let's see. There is so now we are moving towards the south already. Still Luhansk front, but on the southern parts. So the Ukrainian forces has launched a counter offensive to contest Tokishka. So there is attack for Tokishka. So I have added this shape this border area for the Ukrainians, because I think this is becoming really on its own kind of thing. So I have put it up so that it looks a bit more sensible, because there is this offensive going on. So it's easier for our eyes and mind to understand what's happening. Let's move. So in case you are new, I just want to reiterate, Zolote as a location is not one city. It's actually 5 different villages or towns. So they start from 1, Zolote 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is actually the official name. And each of these towns have their original name. So they have Partizanske or Stakhanovets. These are the original names. Later they will rename as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when people say Zolote is captured, don't believe it. It makes no sense, because it's not actually one location. It's actually 5 different locations. This is why there are some reports saying that Zolote was captured by the Russian forces, and I entirely ignore it, because that's not how Zolote is. It's actually 5 different locations. There is no updates in terms of the front line around here. So there might be a case where the Russians have stopped trying to advance in this location, because this is part of the original entrenched position, the original front line before the war, where the Ukrainians are heavily entrenched. So it's not so easy for the Russians to break through from here. It's probably easy to break through from the rear. So that's that. Now to the bear pig, or man bear pig, or bear pig pig bear front, which is the Popasna Front. So at the Popasna Front, previously in the last update I mentioned that the Ukrainians have recaptured Komishuvaka, which is actually not entirely technically true, because Russia have never entirely captured the town. However, just to give the flag to the Ukrainian side, since they are fighting so hard, to reward them for their hard work, I reported it as is. However, the latest information from the Russian source is that the Russian forces control around 40% of the village. So 40% could mean almost half. So they are still fighting very hard for this location. And I believe the reason why it's so hard is because of this forest at the back of Komishuvaka. The Ukrainian forces can have a lot of supply depot, ammunition depot. They can have their 4 operating bases all within this forested area, and they can continue to run into the town in a way that the Russians are will have trouble trying to stop, which is probably why it's so hard to take this position. So maybe the Russians might want to actually encircle the town and kind of cut off this link with Kharkiv, and that might actually force Ukrainian hands instead of fighting within the town. But anyway, this is I'm not the one running the show. Fighting continued at Rubivka and Kharkov and Berestov. So the Ukrainians also counterattacked at Naherne, which then invalidated the information that Naherne was actually captured by the Ukrainian forces. So this invalidation will also means that this invalidates the this entire information that the Russians had failed to take these locations, and I shall delete them now. Because this is part of the same set of information. So if one is invalidated, all is invalidated. So that's for the year part of this bear pig. There is still fighting report. There is fighting reported at Yakovlivka. No updates there. No updates on the Soledar. There is a report that fighting is now at Perovsky, and previously there is rumor that Pelichatne has been captured, and because of this fighting at Perovsky, I have decided that this is corroborated now, and I've awarded this flag to the Russian side. And as such, they close up this entire front with clean off, and now the bear pig now have boobs. or they have a very big tummy because they ate so much, but is now hungry because there's still all this location that is not captured, so the tummy is now not so full. So I think he want to eat some blueberries here. So let's see whether they can eat all these blueberries. So I will leave these blueberries here first, this Ukrainian entrenchment, because I want to see more corroboration about this capture. And if we can see more evidence, then I can delete all these pimples here. That's all for the Popasna Front. Moving south, according to, so now we are in the Bakhmut Front, inside of Donetsk. There is this information that Ukrainians is shelling Dolomite. So, or in the Ukrainian name is actually Dolomitne. The shelling of Dolomitne would actually means that this town, I'm not even sure this is a town. This looks like a concentration camp. So anyway, this location is actually under Russian control, because you don't shell yourself, right? So the Ukrainian shelling Dolomitne means this is under Russian control, so I give them the flag. However, the offensive towards Luhansk has not started, it seems. There is no information of fighting at Luhansk yet. There is also no information of any sort for Semihirnya. So there could be a possibility where the Russian forces might be doing some reorganization, operational rest, if you want, to reorganize themselves for a new offensive, in the south of the Bakhmut Front. Maybe waiting for supply line to catch up within this area, because there is a lot of civilians around here. The humanitarian units have to come in to help to, resupply all these people here, and then that might actually impact some of the operations the Russians is actually operating. So that's all for the Bakhmut Front. Not a lot at the Bakhmut area. Boobies. And after that, moving to the Donetsk Front. At the Donetsk Front, there is no updates as well. So because of the lack of information, as I have mentioned, I'm going to, okay, just leave it here. Let's not complicate things. Later I lost information. However, on the eastern side of Avdiivka, according to the geolocation of a video of Russian forces moving around this forested area and some buildings, is geolocated to be around here, which means that the Russian forces is now closing Avdiivka at this location. And let's see if I can show you. So no video, no sound, sorry. So you can see the troops. I believe these are Russian troops. So they are actually moving along the trench area. They are fighting for this town. You can see this very straight reservoir thing. Later I can show you this. So there's some bombardment of the town, trenches being overrun by Russian forces, and they are moving very carefully through the village. And let's hop. That's so dizzying. Sorry for the sound. Sorry for making you deaf. And they are moving tactically. So this is called tactical movement. Everyone have to be multiple meters apart. So that if someone hit a mine or there's a artillery strike, they don't all die together. This is not very tactical. They should be a bit more apart. So anyway, this is actually this looks like a really nice place to stay. So that's a video from Wargonzo. So you see the reservoir there, the straight line reservoir. So the operation is around this area. So we did not, in this video also, it didn't seem to suggest there's a lot of Ukrainian troops around there. So this squeezing of this Avdiivka is slowly closing. But as you can see from the video, if we can zoom in this much, the distance is actually quite large. Even in this street is around 700 meters, and from the city itself, that is around 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. and this is they're definitely not going to pass through this open ground. They're going to go through all these urban areas to go into Avdiivka, or they have to go through the forested area because this is just a killing zone. So it will take a long time. I believe Avdiivka will take at least a month before we can see any kind of tangible capture of the city. Moving to the east or west of Donetsk, I have moved the front line a bit because of the geolocation of this entrenched position, which is actually a Russian striking at Ukrainian position in this area. Should I show you? Let's show you also. Okay, let's not open this. If not, sorry, the sound. So they actually use mortar, and they actually bombarded this location, and it was geolocated. So geolocated by the OSIN, and to be around here. So the artillery was shot from around Stepney area. So this is the area at Novomihailivka. So I pushed down, and I believe that this entire tree line is actually defended by the Ukrainian forces. This is probably what's happening. So there's a change in this front line around here. No other information about Donetsk. There's no information at Mariupol. I believe the port is now operational. That's at Velika Novosilka, which is the start of the Zaporizhzhia Line. The Ukrainian forces had counterattacked and recaptured Novopil and Novodarivka. So these two locations has been changing hands multiple times. I'm not so sure what's so valuable about this place. Maybe there's a massive stash of vodka, and they just want to take turns to drink. We say, hey, now it's my turn, so they go and drink, and then, hey, have you had enough? Yes, I have enough. Okay, you should retreat now. They retreat, and then they take over. So maybe that's the case. Moving on to Zaporizhzhia Line. At the Zaporizhzhia Line, a Mi-8 was shot down over or near Orikhiv. So Mi-8 is a transport helicopter that can also do some airstrikes. So not sure why is it here. Maybe doing some bombardment, of these Russian positions, and they got shot down by air defense. So sad. And then now we are at the southern front. Near Khyberey, there's a Sukhoi 25 that was shot down over Novokryhorivka or Novogrigorivka. So one Sukhoi 25 shot down there, and then another Sukhoi 25 was shot down at Zaradivka, just at the border between Khyberey and Kherson. So all this shooting down of Sukhoi 25s and the aircraft, there's another one here. This corroborates the information that I have reported a few days ago, that Ukraine have received a new set of Sukhoi 25, and this is extremely fast. because the Ukrainians have stopped having planes getting shot down for a week. I have actually noticed that. I think I have reported that as well. That it seems like the Air Force is gone again. So the Air Force now have done necromancy again. The ghost of Kiev is back, and because of the Baltic states or Bulgaria, giving their set of new Sukhoi 25, I believe it's 8 in their inventory. So this already shot downs of 4 or 5 of them already. So Ukraine is burning through their aircraft way too fast. So maybe it might be also because the pilots that were piloting all these planes are not well trained enough. That could be a possibility, because of a lot of the experienced ones are already dead by now. So moving at this offensive at the Davidi Bridge, I have saw new information. Actually, I managed to dig it out by searching all these locations nearby, and I realized that the Ukrainians actually did not only incurred into the Russian controlled territory from Davidi Bridge, but they also attacked into Bilohivka, Lozove, as well as Andriivka. So, and then there is this reported capture of Novohrivka, which was never listed as under Russian control, but is it's really near, so it's undefended. So it's not surprising that the Russians do have effective control over this small little village here. And of course, they have captured Davidiv Bridge because this is one of the launch point, and there is good reason to believe that these 3 locations are also captured by the Ukrainian forces. However, this looks very good, but the offense seems like a disaster. The Ukrainian operational information actually reported that the Russian positions is now at Kostromka, as they have so-called suffered losses and took up defensive positions at this location. So take it with a pinch of salt, because the photos came out really quickly of the destroyed Ukrainian vehicles around this region. I cannot verify if they are true, but people have been sharing that to me. So there's that. Further south, there's a Sukhoi. I think this is reported already, so I forgot to delete it. So I'm going to delete that. Fighting reported at Terivske. I'm not sure if I reported this. And there is a Bayraktar TB2 shot down over Pokrovka. So Pokrovka is actually this location here. So this is a suspicious operation for the Bayraktar to fly, so far south. Wonder what he's trying to do there. So for those that are new, this is Transnistria. They are not doing anything. The Ukrainians keep wanting them to do something. And this is actually a breakaway territory from Moldova, and they have around 1,500 or 1,200 Russian peacekeepers over there. So there is a lot of provocations to try to get them to war, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Moldova and Transnistria, despite their so-called rivals, they are actually in very good relationships. They have reassured each other that peace will continue to be the case in this between Moldova and Transnistria. For those that are new, this is also known as the badly drawn banana. So in case you did not know the joke when you see this in the comments. So this is the summary for the day of 94 and for the 28th of May, a really long one. So hope you are satisfied, and I'll see you in the next update.